Take it away, Tommy.
Good morning, cruisers. Thank you for showing up. And everybody who's watching us, from the peace and quiet of your own cabin on TV. Can we get the lights a little dimmer? It's really early. And y'all don't need that much light on us, right? That's better. That's a win-win if we turn the lights down. And how about the house lights? It's pretty bright.
Yeah.
In the crowd. You guys want to be in the dark too, don't you?
Yeah.
Just bring it down, nice and comfortable. There we go. All right. So we're just going to talk about. We're basically going to be talking about our songs. That's what we do here. Is we just pick a song that we wrote, try to give you a little background story on that, and then after everybody performs one of their songs. There'll be some time for questions from the audience about, anything you want to know from anybody in particular about how they go about writing a song. And we'll do our best to answer those questions. So let's start, because Kelly's got a show to do in just a little while. We're going to start with Kelly Hunt today. Give it up for Kelly Hunt, everybody.
Well, good morning, y'all. I've been writing songs since I was a kid, and most of those are really bad and sounded like other people's songs. But since I started recording my own music, my first CD came out in 1994. Almost everything that I've recorded are things I've written or co-written. And I didn't really start co-writing until just a few years ago, and it was a really great eye-opening experience for me. As a writer, I think you'll probably hear from a lot of folks, we're really influenced by the world around us. I'm very interested and focused on what emotional response I get to other people's music. When you listen to a great song, for me, it's not really about how well they sing or what a great instrumentalist they are, but if the song moves me in some way, you have that litmus test. If all the hair stands up on your arm or on your head, then for me that's a great song. And I think also as a songwriter, once you've written a tune, that song really isn't yours anymore when you record it or if you perform it live, because it comes about the listener. So if I'm singing a song about, love gone wrong or whatever, my listener's not thinking about me, they're thinking about themselves, their own love, their own family, their own heartache, whatever that may be. So the song I'm going to play for you today is a tune that I recorded on my latest recording, The Beautiful Bones. And I know I do a lot of boogie stuff and I do a lot of slamming stuff, but this song actually means quite a bit to me because it was influenced by my dad. And my dad played the upright bass in the Navy band, and my mom was a singer. She sang gospel music and kind of jazz and blues hits of the day with a little trio. And this song was influenced by not only her, but Dad would listen to a combination of serious Kansas City jazz and blues, deep blues and jazz, and also he had a deep and wide river of country influence, and Ray Charles was and is one of his favorites, and Ray Charles being a piano player, I was going to go for that. So anyway, this really was influenced by my dad. I think about him every time I play it. It's called The Sweet Goodbye. Actually, you know what? My pedal doesn't appear to be working. Maybe we can plug it into the right little thing. If I could get around there, I would, y'all. I know I'm being picky, but I gotta have a pedal.
Somebody help out over here.
Yeah, just give me a sustain.
Matt, maybe.
Maybe the pedal is there, but it's just plugged into the wrong thing. So thanks everybody, it's been great. We'll see y'all.
There was a lot to do early in the morning.
Yeah.
Same, man. Let's see. I think we'll jump around. So we jump around between guitars and pianos and boys and girls and stuff like that. Now let's go right over here to my good friend Elvin Bishop. Now, I've been a big fan of Elvin for many years, and I remember when I was about, I was a kid, and I had a little car, man. It had an AM radio in it, and at that time, Party That Cows Come Home would come on about every 15 minutes in those days. It was such a huge hit on AM radio. And I've been a big fan of Elvin Bishop ever since. I caught as many shows as I can ever since, and I never thought that one day I'd be sitting right next to him like this at a gig.
Oh,
So
man.
Elvin Bishop next, everybody. Thanks for
There
the
you go,
inspiration.
nice. Those are nice new kicks you got there, man. I like those.
I got paid to do a little gig. That was my pay.
Oh, I see. Well, you
Yeah.
did good. That's all right. I'm going to do a song that I wrote called Can't Even Do Wrong.
Yeah.
And this is one that was, you know, songs are where you find it. Some of them just fall in your lap. They fall from that universal stream that's going over all of our heads, and every once in a while you can hook up with it and something comes down. Hank Williams said if it took him over 20 minutes, he just watered up the paper and threw it in the wastebasket and said it wasn't right.
Yeah.
Me, you know, if it takes me 6 months of wrestling with it after I get that first idea, I'll do it. This was our upright bass player, Ruth Davies, who used to be with Charles Brown. She's a hell of a musician. She was telling me a story about some saxophone player that was in the band, and he had a saying, you know how musicians are always, you got a lot of spare time on you jiving and clowning. And anytime he couldn't get nothing to fall right, if they didn't have the kind of eggs, he went, I can't even do wrong. And I said, wow, there's a good little title right there. And I started thinking about, you know, you're watching the news on TV and you see these dumbass criminals that drop their wallet at the scene of the crime. But they find them in the morning stuck in the air conditioning vent at the 7-Eleven, you know, they were trying to rob it last night. I said, okay, I'm gonna write a tune about that guy. I know a cat by the name of Maurice. He's all the time running from the police. Every time you see him up to some old dirty trick, got the nerve to think he's slick, but he ain't. Messes up every time. Well, to tell you the truth, the dude can't even do wrong right. Maurice took a notion to rip off the house down the street. You heard they had a whole lots of real good weed. He snuck around back and made it in the house okay. And he located the stash and he rolled up a J. He got high and hungry, wanted something to eat. Went in the kitchen and ate up every damn thing he could see. But man, between the food and the weed, he sat down on the couch and he went to sleep. He got caught in the middle of the night. Lord have mercy, the dude can't even do wrong right. Got him a new car, went out to celebrate.
Oh yeah.
And I hung up at the bar and started running late. He jumped back in his ride and hit the highway, started to roll. He said, 100 miles an hour, ooh, look at me go. He thought he had everything under control. And, dog it, the highway patrol, he got caught. Night. Oh, what's he gonna do? The dude can't even do wrong right. wife. He said, I believe I'll give me a little something on the side. He found him a woman way across town. He said, but I'll be real cool this time and keep it on the low down. He thought he had a fool. He was doing all right, but what goes on in the dark will surely come to light. He got caught in the middle of the night. Oh, Lord, have mercy. The dude can't even do wrong right. Play one more line. Finish it up, Tommy. Thank you.
Album bitch up, everybody. Woo, man. Man, we sure had a good time last night at your show. Ronnie and me got to get up there and jam. It was a whole lot of fun, man. Let's go to Samantha Fish right now. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking, keeping that Kansas City thing rolling right along.
A lot of Casey people on the road. Not a lot of Casey people. All right, well, I'm really not good at talking, so I'm probably just gonna jump right into this song. It was off my newest album, Wild Heart. It's a song called Go Home, and you know, Elvin was talking about how the songs at work, they kind of fall together really fast, and this one kind of came out pretty quick. I guess it just came out at a time I needed it. But it was a song called Go Home, and people been liking it so far. So this one's for you. Daddy was a drunk and your mama ran away. Scenery's changed but the story stays the same. Go home. Go home. Never spoke a word about the things they stole. Wrap those secrets around a telephone pole. Go home. Go home. Maybe in the morning the clarity I see the light. Maybe I take my own advice for the first time. I give it too many nights to heartache and crying eyes. Go home, oh, go home, go home tonight. Reckless little lullaby, sang yourself to sleep. Who you gonna show when you're 6 foot deep? Go home, go home. Girl was a friend of mine, thought she was a meal. A wake-up call that came too soon. Go home, go home. Baby, I'm warming the clarity. I'll do what's right. Maybe
I don't know if everybody realizes this or not, but Luther produced your last record.
You did, yeah.
Fabulous record. Great job, man.
You didn't know it.
Oh,
You let her do yourself.
Let's go over to Lattimore right now, and Mo, you can jump on this keyboard now Yes, Lattimore now, and then Mo, you could, if you want, take that piano for the next, I don't know, whenever you're ready. Whenever it's your turn, we got that piano set up for you. Over here on this end. Okay. Microphone and a piano, and but Lattimore, go ahead. We got so much talent up here, man. I sure hope we have enough time to get through everybody. The great Lattimore, everybody. Give him a big round of applause.
Well, like a lot of other songwriters and musicians, I get my inspiration from personal experience and vicarious experience where people talk to you and tell you their life stories and things that happened to them and the things you observe while you're, in this business. You get a chance to see a lot of people, from all walks of life, and they talk to you and tell you things. I got a song that I wrote that it talks about, it's a lot of women today.
Easy now.
Like, now that I'm older, I can observe a lot of this stuff. A lot of women today, they call them cougars. They like them young guys. They like them young guys. You don't mess around with an old guy like me. They like them young guys. They'll take my money and give that to the young guy. Well, when I was a young guy, I had an experience with a cougar. She's 97 now. There's a little song I wrote about that. I remember when I was a young man, I had a great love affair with a woman that was almost twice my age. But shoot, I didn't care. She was 44 and counting. I was just 23. I wish I could tell y'all the thing that woman did to me. I ain't gonna talk about it. We got to be discreet. We didn't have our business
I ain't even gonna say nothing about it. Just that was awesome. Man.
Just thinking back, reminiscing, just like me.
I'm just thinking about some people just have a talent for writing great songs, you know. Out of any subject, you know, get to make a great song out of it. I got to work real hard at mine, and I'm going to go ahead and jump over here to Luther Dickinson. Give it up to Luther Dickinson, everybody, from Mississippi All-Stars. You guys have been doing such great work all these years.
Thanks. I love words, and I like to write a lot of words, and I love the oral tradition of the blues and folk music and gospel music, and also the, you know, growing up in Mississippi, yeah, and around Memphis, you hear a lot of old cats, you know, like Charlie Musselwhite or R.L. Burnside, and they just talk in like blues poetry, you know what I mean? It's like they're so cool, their vocab, the way they tell stories and the way they talk is just so beautiful. And so, you know, growing up studying that and studying old songs, I like to see how those, I think that it's cool when you're writing and then an old line, like a line that, you know, from a blues song or a gospel song will come out and it'll help you express what you're trying to say about your life, or I like the word vicarious. That's what I need to start using with my wife, vicarious. Because I be always getting like, what's track 5 about, motherfucker? You just gonna tell everything, what? Those calls are rough. It's songwriters, y'all gotta watch that out. I always say, Jimbo wrote that part, don't worry about that. Anyway. I like, it's one of those songs. I like, at a certain point I was like, well, like Stagger Lee and John Henry and all those cats, they were just men walking the earth one day, but these songs made them immortal and made them legends. So I started trying to write songs about my friends and my heroes, trying to make them into folk legends. And especially I like celebrating my loved ones and my friends after they pass away. I always seem to write songs, you know, after the situation, as I guess a part of mourning, you know. But anyway, my father was a piano player and a great friend, and he passed away in '09, and I wrote a lot of songs about that. And here's one that just came out super quick. I woke up on the bus and I just wrote this whole song before I even turned the light on, you know. It's called Ain't No Grave, which of course is a, you know, old gospel song, but I just had my own way with it.
As he passed me by, see you later, son. Here for your father, come for you later. Here for your father. When the day comes, death comes back my way, I would hope to be as brave as he was on Judgment Day. I would hope to be as brave as he was on Judgment Day. Ain't no grave, hold my body down, no grave, hold my body down. Ain't no grave, hold his body down. Bless our dear mother, he was her heart. Comes a time, soulmates must part, been side by side from the start. She gave him strength to carry through. Face the one thing we all have to do. Face the one thing we all have to do. I would hope to be as brave as she was on Judgment Day. Ain't no grave, hold his body down, no grave, hold his body down. Ain't no grave, hold his body down. It's been my honor, no truly great men. I've heard the music of the spheres. I've heard the music of the spheres. I am under a penance, I I've heard the music of the spheres. If I had my way, he'd be here today to sit down at the piano and play. Sit down at the piano and play. I see him in the face of my newborn baby child. Wheel of time spinning in the sky. Baby girl looks me straight in the eye. I would hope to be as brave as he was on Judgment Day. Ain't no grave, hold his body down, no grave, hold his body down. Ain't no grave, hold his body down. Thank you.
I'm in awe to be in the presence of such talent. Give everybody a big round of applause. So far, I think this songwriting workshop is going incredibly well. Just because we're getting such great songs out of this deal. We got Mighty Mo Rogers down here. And I was talking to Elvin backstage. I said, we got Mighty Mo Rogers going to be on our songwriting panel. He goes, well, that guy's got some songs.
Well, you know, I'm honored to be here with some great writers, and we all, as I like to say, students of the blues. I wrote since I was very young, like everyone here, and most of my songs I wrote as a teenager were lousy. You copy your heroes and stuff, you know. But when I got older, I started to focus on what I loved about the music, and I got kind of lucky. I came West Coast, and I worked for Motown, wrote for them. They taught me some craft stuff. When I really got into it, I started thinking, what is the fundamental thing about this incredible music called blues is going around the world? $1 billion business if you count its children. So I try to break it down. I say, Rick, what makes this music like the Big Bang? Blues is a paradigm shift. Before and after. And after blues, everything came before nothing. So when I listened to the blues, I said, tell me, prayed on it. I wrote this song for my first album. The first song, the title cut is called Blues is My Wailing Wall. And I wrote it because anybody know about Israel, the most sacred site, of course, is Solomon's Temple, the Western Wall. And I thought about it, blues is my wailing wall. And I can hear it call. Blues is my wailing wall. Blues is my wailing wall. Blues is my wailing wall. I hear it call to me, I hear it call. Through the door, no return. I hear it call to me.
this morning.
Hey Mo, you know what I love, man? This guy's got a way with words. Have you seen his show yet? Man, he said, I believe in evolution. It made a monkey out of me.
I'll do it today. Because of the show, I do it.
Excuse me.
I guess it's me. It's down to me. I got a song on my latest record. I like to write songs about, just like Lattimore said, I just kind of observe what's going on in life, and it's my life or somebody else's life, or, I hate to admit it, but I watch the news. It's a really bad deal, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. I advise don't watch CNN, MSNBC, especially don't watch Fox News. But I do. I wind up watching it. It's like watching a car accident on the side of the road. You don't want to look, but you look anyway. And the thing that I wanted to write about is the fact that, I realize, I'm going to try to put this in a short amount of time, but somehow or another, the politicians and the media have got us at each other, got people divided and hating each other. And I realize that I go around the country, I know all kinds of people, a lot of different kinds of people come to my show. We don't always agree on politics. We have lots of differences of opinion on the way things should be run in the country and in the world, and we have different ideas, but we can still be friends. And the idea is we have a lot more in common than we have differences. And so I really hate to see what's going on out there, but I do have I have lots of friends that are on the complete opposite side of the political spectrum than I am. And we'll sit around and talk about guitars, we'll sit around and talk about the blues, we'll sit around and talk about our family, we'll talk about our kids, we'll talk about food. We have a great time, we get along just fine. And so I thought that a song about that, people kind of standing together and finding some common ground, would be a good subject. So. Everybody's just looking for the same thing. I'm a lot like you, you're a lot like me. A little piece of mind, enough to eat. You wanna stand on our own 2 feet. I don't know much, but this I do believe. We've got to stand together on common ground. We've got to band together or we all fall down. Now everybody's looking for someone to blame. We're not as different as we are the same. And stand together on common ground. Everybody knows that we've got to change things, but all we seem to do is fuss and fight. Left, right, black or white, we all dream about the same things tonight. So wake up, people, it's time to build a brand new day. We gotta stand together question and answer with the crowd. Where's Barry, Walter? Okay, good. Let's take some questions. I know there are some aspiring songwriters out there, or some really seasoned songwriters out there. They may have a question or two for our panel.
Any hands here?
You can direct it to anybody in particular, or at the group, whatever you want.
There we go. I'm just wondering, when you're writing, you like when you're editing your stuff, you throw out anything, or you just keep everything and then recite it?
Oh, I throw a lot away.
We throw away more than we keep, I think. In my case, anyway.
And then even after the record comes out, you'd be like, man, I do not need that fourth verse.
Anybody else? Okay, hold on.
You said up here.
Are there any subjects on writing that you wouldn't even touch, not taboo subjects?
Yeah, I think there probably are. I don't like to write songs about being old, even though I am. I shy away from those.
I don't write political songs because I'm not well versed in it. That's not my world, and I don't. That's not me.
I try to write songs that inspire. To me, I call them the two Bobs. I got Bob Dylan on my left and Bob Marley on my right. And I still believe that music can change the world. So I'm naive, I guess. So that's what I believe. That music can change. And I try to write to that, to the betterment of humans, like what Castro just sung about. That's the truth. You know, blues brings us together. And it's a miracle to me, so I try to write about that.
I'm wondering if it's a conscious decision to write something up-tempo versus something slower, or is it whatever happens to strike you at the time?
I think if you have an idea for a song, the subject or the story sometimes will just kind of dictate that. You know, like for instance, if it's a love song, a lot of times it's going to turn out to be a ballad, you know. And if it's about partying, it's probably going to be up-tempo. Just
Sometimes it has to do with what kind of, especially if there's a recording project going on, you know, what you need to balance things out. And sometimes, unfortunately, it has to do with what kind of pressure you get from the
record label.
I'd like to ask all you, just go down the line, for you, which comes first, the music or the lyrics, or in what, I mean, mostly, or are you inspired by writing lyrics first and then put music to it? Which of you all go down the line and say which one comes first for you?
Okay, for me, I want to start here?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, it varies. You know, sometimes you hear a title, sometimes you hear a melody in your head, and sometimes you hear lyrics. For me, I listen a lot. One of my heroes was August Wilson. You know, he wrote plays and he was a poet, and you had to let the song write you instead of you write the song. So I learned to listen. It took me to learn to realize that, and sometimes a melody or a horn, I listen a lot and try to let it tell me what to do. So it varies a lot.
For me, I don't have a formula just yet, like an exact way that I like to do it. I mean, it comes different times. Sometimes I'll get the melody first, and then the words will come later, and you know, it could be a long, drawn-out thing, or it could all come right at once. It just depends on the song, and you know, you were talking about the pressure you're under to get a record done or something. Sometimes it depends on that too. So, you know, for me, there's no set way.
I've got a lot of friends, and this kind of relates to the thing about being up-tempo or slow, but like they might be in a mood, so they'll just grab a guitar and it's like sculpting with a piece of clay. They're just like, I feel like this, and I want to hear something that goes like this, and they'll just like build it, then they'll start just moaning and groaning and making sounds, and that'll turn into a melody, which will turn into lyrics. But I don't do it that way, but I have a lot of friends that do it like that way. I always start with the words, and then I try to just do it a cappella and just see where the melody takes it. I don't even know what key I might be in, but to let the melody figure itself out, and then I'll go to the piano or the guitar or whatever.
Yeah, I have a bunch of different ways that things get started, but usually for me it's a story. I keep track of things that jump out at me and as I go through life. You know, it could be watching a movie or talking to some friends or overhearing other people talk about something or whatever. If I hear something and I try to remember to write it down or speak it into the memo device on my phone, you know, the memo pad. What do you call that? Voice recorder. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for this morning. Anyway, keep track of stuff like that, and then you know, time comes to write a song, I'll look through my little notes that I made, and I'll say, well, that sounds like the song I feel like working on today, and I'll take a title or an idea and start working on that. But I remember it was a song on my last album where I walked into sound check, and Randy and Bo and bass player and the drummer were just playing this little groove, and I went, wow, let's remember this, because I like that a lot, and I wrote a song around that. You know, found one of those ideas that fit. Elvin?
Oh, any way I can get one, I'm just glad.
That's the truth right there.
Well, I'm kind of the same way. I can have a melody or something floating around in my head for a long time, and then I'm not one of these people who can just sit down and say, you know, I think I'm going to write a song. You know, I have to be inspired by something like what you said, by something somebody said or something I saw somebody do. Wait a minute now, I'm not a voyeur. Not all the way. Well, but anyway, you know, you actually become a voyeur in life. You know, you see people doing things, saying things, and I don't sit down and I don't write anything out. Nothing until I get ready to do the song or whatever. I have it floating around in my head. I figure if it leaves me, then it was no good anyway. Sometimes I'll wake up out in the middle of the night, I'll have something, and I'll wake up and think, oh boy, I wrote a hell of a song. It would be because my wife keeps the TV on sometimes. Puts the timer on. It was before the timer goes off. I'll hear something, I'll be over there half asleep, and something will just go through my head. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that was something that somebody already did, you know. but you know, I have these things going around, you know, you go around in your head. Sometimes I have stories that about things that happen to me, or stories that or some kind of subject might come into my head, and I'll just kind of start thinking about it. And all the things that I know about that subject, I'll kind of write it down in my head, not write it down on paper. I'll just put it in there. Then I'll put it together, song-wise. And sometimes it'll fit a melody that I already have. Sometimes I plagiarize myself. That's okay. Go plagiarize yourself. And I'll take something that I had in some other song that I planned on writing the other song. I'll take it and put it in this.
Don't let it go to waste. Don't let it go to waste.
Yeah, recycle it.
Yeah. You know, I like what we did this thing on Chicago Blues yesterday, and Ronnie Baker Brooks was here, and he said a real good thing. He said, "I never pick no cotton, so I don't write those kind of blues." I think it's just, you know, you can write a song from looking at another person's situation, but if you're going to write a good song about it, it's going to have to be a situation that you understand. Because a lot of times I'll give up on a song because I'll be having trouble writing, and I'll say, you know something? I don't understand this subject good enough to write a good song about it. I'm going to leave it alone.
Okay, one more question here.
How do you prepare yourself to write a song? Like, how do you, like, prepare your mind, or do you, like, sit in the quiet room and just think about a song, or it just comes to you? How do you prepare yourself?
I'll just say one quick thing about it. I don't really prepare for that, but I do. The thing that works for me is to best is writing with other people, because I'll make an appointment to write a song, and as close as I could. Otherwise, it's like Latin, where they come, you jot something down, you have an idea, you finish it later on or whatever. But sometimes I'll make a plan to get together with another songwriter, and you know, and that works, because we're going to spend an hour or two together. We're going to get something, you know, and it may have to get finished up later on. But as far as mentally preparing for it, I don't personally do that.
There's two sides to it. The one is the inspiration, where it just comes from above and it's right there and it writes itself for most of it. But it also is a craft, and it is work, and it is a job. And I like the word habit. You know, I just like to be in the habit of writing and just write in books and just freestyle or whatever, or be in the habit of playing guitar and the habit of singing nonsense, or just the habit of writing. Because if you can't just wait for it to happen all the time. I like what you say about it's in your head. You're working on it in your head. You're not writing it down, but you're working on it every day, and when you're asleep too. But I like it. You know, you got to put the time in. And you got practice. You won't, like you said, you might crumple up a lot of songs, but it'll get you further down the road.
Yeah, it definitely, it's like a muscle memory. If you stop doing it, for me, if I stop doing it for a while, if I'm not in that space, like I won't be able to write songs as fast. I won't be able to keep turning them out. You know, it's like muscle memory. It's like playing guitar. If you stop doing it, you're gonna lose your abilities. It's the same with songwriting.
I always stop doing it right after I finish a record.
Yeah, me too.
That's a bad habit of mine. I stopped doing it for a while, then I got to get started again. I suppose it's worth mentioning that, you know, there are, like Luther said, there are tools and there are techniques and methods, and there's a lot you can learn about songwriting. I like to go on, before my last album, I went on YouTube and I just looked up songwriting to see what other people had to say about it. And man, there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of really good advice about writing songs. I learned a little bit from that process. But there's things like, you know, rhyming dictionaries. There's the type that you use on your computer, so you can easily, you know, find things like rhymes and alliterations, and you know, you use a how do you say thesaurus? It's hard for me to say thesaurus, but you know, looking for another word that means the same thing that might rhyme, and all that's technical stuff. It's not much in the area of inspiration, and that's what we like. I think that's the great thing about songwriting, is the real inspiration and the real experience and the, you know, the emotional. Like I couldn't help but have a tear in my eye listening to Luther's song. You know, those are the best songs, the things that really have meaning and mean something to you. But there are techniques that help you get that job done too. So don't be afraid to use those.
I have a quick question. What was it like writing in Motown, like in the writers?
It was a factory. I mean, they didn't play. I'm one of the few guys, I guess. I auditioned personally with Barry Gordy. I was living in Venice, a hippie, and Joe Bed Publishing heard me. He said, "Man, he has a heck of the lyrics." Because I use metaphors, double entendres, and all that other stuff, you know. And I went to Motown and up to Hollywood on Sunset at the top floor. And Susan DePass, I don't know if you know who she is. She's a big, gorgeous right-hand person. So we sitting down there, and Gordy was sitting. He's got a big man with sunglasses, and all these guys around with notepads. I said, "This is the guy we saw on the beats in Jobet. He got these great lyrics." And I said, "Gordy, there's a grand piano there," and he said, "Okay, play something." I played one song through. He said, "Okay, next time just play the verse and the chorus. That's it." And see, Gordy was this great songwriter. You know, he don't know any teardrops of Jackie Wilson, you know. Bad songwriter. So I did that, you know, then they said, "Okay, you got a gig, you know, go down to Joe Bed," you know, and I worked with Spoon, who wrote "What Becomes of the Broken Heart," and these cats, you know. So it's very competitive. You write at night you come like a poker game, you lay stuff, okay, what you got, what you got, what you got. These guys will lay it out, you know, and they play a song, and they critique your song real hard, you know, and say, oh, that's cool. I said, but you know, that's kind of cliche, and that lyric like that. So it's very, very competitive, but they teach you the craft, which you can learn, like what Cash was saying, there are books and stuff out, and you can teach the craft of songwriting. And I enjoyed it for a while. I didn't stay that long. When my son was born, your parents said, wait a minute, I left money, I had to make money, you know. And he was born, so I left that. But I learned that there's a craft of songwriting. But for me, to be inspired, I wanted to be more than just a songwriter. I wanted to say songs that were timeless, like the Bob Dylan's and the Bob Marleys, like I say, you know. So I try to write for the ages and say, what does this say? What can this do? What does this mean to everybody? So that's how I kind of write. And Motown did teach me the craft, but it's very competitive. It's tough. It's good. Awesome.
Well, I guess that about wraps it up, huh? Thank you for joining us this morning. Appreciate y'all getting up early and stuff. I mean, we had to do it. You chose to do it, and we sure appreciate it. Barry Walter, everybody.
Thank you for coming, everyone. And then 1:30 today, Mighty Mo Rogers is going to be in the showroom. 4:45, Tommy, Tab, and Samantha are going to be on the pool deck, 4:45. And let's see, Lattimore tonight, 9 o'clock, showroom at sea here. So catch all those. And then the Blues and Bazaar is open until 3, and then it's closing down. So that's the last chance to buy any CDs and memorabilia on the ship. And thanks again to everybody. Kelly Hunn, who had to leave early, Elvin Bishop, Samantha, Lattimore, Mighty Mo Rogers, and Tommy Castro for hosting. Thanks for coming.